Hello, folks. Hello, friends. Welcome back yet again. It's Monday, and we're having a real good time, even in spite of that. Why? Because we do not forget where we have been and where we are going. Folks, take a look at this out of BioReconstruct. It says, on this day, 6 years ago, today, folks, 6 years ago, all Orlando area theme parks closed due to the pandemic. Aerial photos of empty Epcot and Islands Adventure on March 16th, 2020. What a thing that BioReconstruct hopped in a plane the day that everything shut down 6 years ago. And we had no idea at the time how long this was going to go. Now, I remember back then that I was, I had been scrubbed from the internet. You all remember that? You remember when that could happen to you? I had been removed from some places for daring say that, hey, this is a big deal. I'm hearing what's going down in China right now with mobile crematories, and there were some folks who didn't want to hear that, and so, but anyway, there was a time and place where you could be removed from all these places. Turns out back then it probably was good to be outside, be in the sunshine. But we shut everything down 6 years ago today, folks, and now where are we? Well, according to Blog Mickey this morning, good morning from Toy Story Land, where the Slinky Dog Dash Rope Drop line stretches through the land. 2.5 hour wait. Let's play it, folks. Here you go. Here's what a difference 6 years makes. Look at that line. Now, of course, you all know the reason for the line, spring break, but also because Rock and Roller Coaster's down. So you're down a coaster, and that means you got this big, long, giant line. Thank you to Blog Mickey for posting this. But what a difference 6 years makes. And what a difference, folks. Everybody forgets what it was like. Everybody forgets. And we just, it was such a huge deal. But now we kind of we've moved on, and we don't think to ourselves, this could have gone much differently. So I'm happy. I feel very blessed to be able to get out and do things and enjoy things. And I'm glad those days are behind us. And I hope never to return to the times when censorship reigned supreme and totalitarianism was on the rise. Whatever you think of the pandemic, folks, not a good time. Culture and MJ are with us today, and it's a fantastic way to start your Monday. Culture, hello to you, sir.
Good morning or afternoon to y'all. It depends on what part of the country you're in. But no, I'm having a great day. I'm glad to be here. Monday mornings are always bright and shiny. We've got lots to talk about, and I'm looking forward to it.
Shiny. MJ, how you doing today? You look magical as always.
Thank you. I don't know if it's the allergies or if it's what, but I am feeling a little under the weather, but not enough to take me down.
Don't let them take you down. And folks, if you've ever wondered why do allergies bother you so, go look at pollen under a microscope. Mm-hmm. It is the thing of nightmares. Have you seen what it looks like?
Yeah, it's really bad. It looks like a disease.
Yellow demonic hedgehogs rolled up in a ball. That's what's going through your nostrils. And then what does your body do? It says, force fields, get them up. It's just too bad your force fields are made out of snot. Ew. But,
that's a natural histamine response, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're supposed to produce mucus to get it all out, which is
defend yourself. Yeah, and removify, right? Glue the pollen to the stuff and then sneeze it, and you know how it works.
Yes.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have mucus.
With all the cold, the winter freeze we had, and it's like everything, I guess, is blooming now. I'm like, what is going on in South Florida? My God.
What is happening here? Folks, you know what's happening here? We got Super Chats. Let's get to them. But first of all, before we do so, we need to recognize it is a Monday. And sometimes people want to have a mundane kind of Monday, but right here on That Park Place, we don't believe in that. We believe in happy, great ways to start the day. So here's to Monday.
Well, it's Monday. We're back again.
It's Monday, boys and girls, let's party! It's Monday, boys and girls, let's party!
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
All right, folks. A man who needs no pity is Ron from Father Bradley's Fun. Ron, welcome aboard, buddy.
Hello there. Oh, my shirt. That was weird.
What? You know, it's all that weightlifting.
Blue or green just work these screens.
It's all that weightlifting you've been doing, Ron.
It's almost white. I don't know. Well, yeah, my shoulder's really sore this morning. I don't know why.
Yep. You know, getting stronger, bigger, better.
hammering those traps.
All right, folks, there's no trap out there in the super chats. Let's see what you got to say. Packing protons for 5. My ABC Citadec-owned radio show, Scott and Todd, reported that COVID was just like the flu on day 1, and ABC shut that fact tune down fast. There you go. Lots of opinions about what we went through, folks, but one thing is for sure, I don't want to go back there. I'm happy to be where we are right now. Packing protons for 2. How'd you get an image of the Abu Dhabi castle? Talking about that thumbnail we got of Cinderella Castle on fire. Did you know that when they first started the show, where they had the Pirates of the Caribbean set for the projections, when those projections first came out, the Pirates of the Caribbean segment made it look like Cinderella Castle was on fire. And because that technology was new, one of the first performances of it, there was actually a woman who called Reedy Creek, called 911 and told them Cinderella Castle was on fire. Turns out it was just the castle projections. But, you know, things that are magical and you can't believe them one day, we get used to the next day, right? That's how that goes. Packing protons also for 2. I'd do a joke about the title, but it's just too easy. We agree. And you won't believe what we're going to cover today when it comes to these scams. Listen, I hate to call websites out. You know why? Because everybody makes a mistake, and I don't get called out when we make a mistake. But it's too much. It's even beyond. Do you guys remember about a month ago, 2 months ago, MJ, we were covering that every time somebody passed away at Disney World, they were running an article on it and how awful that was, because there's like people's loved ones who were passing away from a heart attack, and then these stupid clickbaiters were trying to get articles off of somebody's loved one passing away from a mundane, it's not mundane, but, something we all pass away from, and turn it into a Disney thing. And I was like, this is disgusting. You remember that, MJ?
Oh, yeah. We covered it here. We were talking about that, how they were using that for clickbait and how those things should be kept private, not for public consumption.
Right.
My God, that's so unfortunate.
But what if I told you, folks, it's worse? They've actually gotten worse. And I'm going to show it to you today. By the way, I'm loving this new background we have here, folks. We were going to hold this for the 30K celebration because we are at the cusp of hitting 30K subscribers here. But I said, we got to release it. It's just too good. Go ahead and get it going. We got a new background back there, and I love it. It's very theme parky. Wilton's legs, the Cankles have returned for 5. We can confirm that a hero with purple potato breath and a hobby of tossing EMTs has us. All we know is that he has more tuft than us.
Oh my.
Well, yeah, and look, I'm headed to the postal station later today to assure that the legs are delivered along with the letter, and I'm very excited to be the middleman in this process. So
Oh my God.
Did you just say you're going postal?
quite literally, yes.
With someone else's legs?
Yeah. Well, it gives me a chance to also check the P.O. box. I have had very generous folks in the audience recently, and sending me stuff in the P.O. box is pretty cool. I've got so much reading material, it's crazy. So
Aw.
I guess by the end of this month, we need to get this Wilton legacy going, right?
we do. We have to right away. Do it now.
Purple potatoes, fried green tomatoes, arugula. Hey, what's up?
When injustice strikes, I strike back.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
That was perfect.
That was perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Packing protons for 5. Whoops. Got my timeline mucked up. Good use of the letter M there, Packing protons. They were at Moonvies, owned WCBS then. Rainy day, brain fog. Yeah, that's going on across the nation. I've heard that there are places that had some tornadoes run through, and we hope everybody out there is doing fine on this Monday. Yeah. So stay away from the tornadoes. You won't be in Kansas anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to open the door to the news stories, as we have more than 200 of the finest, highest IQ, and most beautiful people joining us today. Don't listen to your spouse. We say you're beautiful, darn it. First Dragon Queen, one more, $2. Do it live. Hugs for all. We don't have the Do It Live clip here. I wish we had the Do It Live clip. Why? Why do we not have the Do It Live? You know what we'll do instead? Well, we can't actually. We can't do it right now because we got news. I forgot. We got to hurry the news. Here, how about this one?
I didn't kill Han Solo. Wokeness killed Han Solo.
It's something to remember as we're recovering from the Oscars last night. And boy, are we ever recovering from the Oscars last night. That was the wokest, weirdest, most revenge-filled vengeful show I've seen. It's not a segment, but guys, anybody want to weigh on the Oscars before we hit the first news story? Because that was something else last night.
There were only two things that I paid attention to, and that was that K-pop Demon Hunters won Best Animated Feature, and I actually kind of liked the Sinners music, that weird, bizarro. I don't know, it's kind of bizarre, but I just all of the different cultural references kind of coming together just for the actual musical piece itself. Because my wife and I watched Sinners yesterday just so we could see one of the pictures. I hadn't seen any of the Best Picture nominations, so we watched Sinners yesterday. I didn't like it, but I liked the music from it. And I'm like, if you could take that music and put it in something else, like what was that old? Why am I not thinking of that movie? The hillbilly movie.
Hillbilly Eulogy?
I know what you're talking about. The wrong
Hillbilly
turn.
Eulogy?
The wrong turn.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the one with George Clooney. You're talking about
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
That's
I got there with you, Ron. I got there.
Okay. So yeah, or what was that? Even there's not that. There's that one, and there's another old one. But anyway, beside the point. I like just the music itself. I'm not a vampire person though. I think vampires suck.
Ron, if you make that joke one more time, that's the end of you. It's the end of you. I'm on Team Ron though. Bob Iger is leaving the Walt Disney Company this week. Well, not really, but he's leaving as CEO, and Josh D'Amaro going to take over. Tomorrowland is here. But never fear, folks. Well, maybe you should actually, because the Disney stock is dropping like a rock. Mickey Mouse shouting out and saying, Bob, what have you done to me? Take a look at this, folks. Bob Iger, I don't think ever believed he would exit under 100, but he is below the Benjamin. And this could be how we go into Wednesday. 98, 99 as we are live right now. It is down 1 year, actually down just a tiny amount. But if we go to the 5 year, 5 years of Bob Iger, essentially. You've got the Bob Chapek year back here, but Bob Iger is down about 48.21%. That is crazy. Down almost half the Disney company over the last 5 years. What if you just held stocks in general? Well, if you'd been holding on the S&P 500 for the past year, you'd be up 18.27%. If you've been holding on to the S&P 500 for the past 5 years, you'd be up 71.2%. That's a delta of a lot. That's a lot. If we go back over here, losing 48, losing basically half versus gaining more than half. Wow. That's a swing totally in the opposite direction. So how are things going for Bob Iger as he gets ready to leave then? What's going on with Disney? What are the outlets out there saying? Well, let's go to MarketBeat to find out. It says BNP Paribas lowers position in the Walt Disney Company, but that's not what we're really here for. I want to go down to this other set right here. It says analysts set new price targets for the Disney Company. Several analysts have weighed in on the stock. Well, good for them. The Goldman Sachs Group reiterated a buy rating and set a $151 target price on shares of Walt Disney in a research note on Monday. Now, we're not here to give you any financial advice, but I am here to tell you this is what they're suggesting the stock will be down the road. This is their target price, $151. UBS Group restated a mixed rating on shares of Walt Disney in a research report on Monday, February 2nd. Wells Fargo and Company lowered their target price on shares of Disney from $152 to $150 and set an overweight rating on the stock in a research note on Tuesday, February 3rd. Morgan Stanley assumed coverage of Walt Disney in a research note on Tuesday, February 3rd. They issued an overweight rating and a $135 price objective on the stock. Essentially, they're all saying that Disney is worth more, and then it's going to go to $135. The problem here is, when's the last time it was at $135? Folks, it hasn't been at $135 since March or April of 2022. It's been 4 years since it hit that target, but they never stopped talking about it's one day. One day my stock price will come. Culture, when are they going to give up on this thing and just say, you know what? This direction has sucked. Somebody's got to change things up.
Well, I think they're banking on a change of leadership in this particular situation, but the narrative it has not been proven out. Right now, Disney is doing a reverse Kramer or an inverse Kramer. So it is, it's definitely looking very bad. And look, the outlook can't get better. They've alienated the largest group of people that used to support them regularly. The locals can't even, afford to support them the way they used to, which is why they're offering up so many discounts. Everything right now, the conversations are counter to what these estimations are. Why would Disney need to be steeply discounting everything if their revenue stack is so good, and the average of every consumer has gone up substantially? They just have fewer consumers. And in a market like this where you're always expecting constant growth, you have to grow your audience, not shrink it. You can't alienate them the way they have been. I think it speaks across the board, not just in the quality of their films, but in the quality of their theme park offerings, which they've dramatically reduced, if not cut in half. Disney used to be considered a valuable vacation. It was one of the reasons why you were, you stocked to the gills with people every single day in all of the parks, even the ones with the very limited offerings. So my thoughts are, if you're an analyst and you're not looking at the causation for that decline, you're not doing your job.
Well, yeah, that's a great point. And MJ, I'm thinking, again, we're not giving financial advice. We're watching this live right now. But I'm thinking that all those announcements Disney made last week about their opening everything and discounts to Disney World and all this stuff, they made huge announcements. They've discounted Disney Plus ahead of Zootopia. They're talking about Bluey now. They've got a licensing deal locked up with the BBC now where they have Bluey at the level they need. It didn't budget. And I think that probably is shocking them today. What do you think about that, MJ, that nothing they did in the last week to fix this has turned it around? It's still down.
Yeah, it's going to be down until they get, like Culture was saying, they got to get their act together and focus on family entertainment. That's what the company started. That's what brought up the company to begin with. I think that from what I've been observing the past 9 or 12 months, that they are slowly trying to bring back children's entertainment with the whole, we got the Bluey and Bingo thing coming up, and this is the second a year in a row that they're doing the Cool Kids Summer. They are offering a lot of incentives and discounts and really good deals right now, but they really have to focus on families first, children's entertainment, clean children's entertainment, without pushing other things onto people that they don't want to, that they're not comfortable talking with their kids about. Let's just be quite frank.
Or MJ, they want to talk about it instead of a corporation.
Correct. Yeah. They need to stay focused on that. Once they focus back on, providing clean, fun family entertainment, their numbers should go back up because people have lost their faith in this company, unfortunately. And let's hope with the new regime that they get their act together and they keep an eye on these things, because it's a shame and they should be embarrassed. It's embarrassing as a company.
It is where we are. And Ron, MJ's exactly right. It's embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing for Bob to leave out like this. Bob wanted to leave on top. Exactly. Ron, what does it say about Bob Iger's legacy that he's going to be probably leaving? I mean, who knows? Maybe he barely crawls above 100 by Wednesday, but he's going to be leaving down. He failed. I mean, this is like MJ coming to the Wizards, only Bob Iger's the one who tore down this company in the first place to get back in charge of it. So how do you think he feels exiting this way?
Well, as much as hindsight is 2020, I would think, if I were in Bob's position right now, and I could be wrong, but I would think, maybe I should not have left initially in 2020. Maybe I should have said, you know what, with everything going on, this is the time that I shouldn't step down as CEO and should continue to man the helm, steer the ship through this issue. And then if he would have passed it on to Chapek, say, I don't know, 2022, we could actually be looking at a completely different story. When he did leave, he left at a time where it appeared as if he were on top. He had written this book that I'm sure was ghostwritten, generally speaking, and it was a manufactured legacy. But I know people that I have not read the book, so I don't know what it says, but people that have read the book, like they tout about it, how great it is. And I'm like, this guy, what he's leaving behind now, I think that the last 4 years of his tenure show that he was always like that. And it was actually going that direction before he left. And he left at a time when he really wanted to have a scapegoat. But we all now know that Bob Chapek was just a scapegoat, unfortunately. The company's reputation, more than anything else, has taken the hit. The first thing that I would do immediately would, if I took the helm, would be the hardest thing to do, because it would really anger a very small percentage of people, and especially cast members, but it would do a lot for the reputation of the company. And that is to go back to the original Disney look in the parks and just say, look, I understand people want to express themselves in this and that and the other, but first and foremost, when you hit the stage, you are a cast member in a show. You're not giving people, you want people to feel like they have left reality. So the last thing that somebody needs when they walk into a Disney park is to see a guy wearing a skirt who has a Bugs Bunny tattoo all the way down his leg. Like, you don't need to see that when you walk into a Disney park. It's going to confuse the heck out of people, out of kids. And it's just, and look, I'm not trying to offend people. You do whatever you want to in your personal life. I don't care. That's fine. But when you step onto the stage at a Disney park, you are stepping on a stage and into a show. You're giving up the version of you that exists in the quote unquote real world outside of work. And that would just be one very, very simple thing to show the general public, hey, we're going back to generally serving all families. And frankly, you kind of have to take some things away when you're serving all people. You can't serve into little niches, because you're going to offend somebody, and you're probably always going to offend somebody no matter what you do. So stop trying to please every single tiny little, segment of the population, and do your best to please generally, and you'll do a better job. And I think that's what Disney has gotten away from. They used to do such a fantastic a job of pleasing everybody. And they might sneak subtle messages in here and there. Maybe in the Little Mermaid there was a subtle message, or Beauty and the Beast, in the 1990s there were some subtle messages, but generally people kind of could ignore those and go on and get the good versus evil. Good wins out. Be good. That's the lesson that Disney's supposed to teach.
Culture, let me give the final word, and I want to point you in a particular direction. I know you got a lot to say about that, but also, Culture, we're hearing behind the scenes, and I don't want to get too in-depth on this, so I'm just going to hand it to you kind of generically. I go into high detail about this on the Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/WDWPro, but it's a little too spicy for that Park Place. We're hearing that there might be an advantage for Bob Iger leaving as quickly as he is, and that as the stock is dropping, if there's a fear it might drop lower, that it makes sense for Bob Iger to get out now and use some of those contractual executive exit bonuses while he still can. I don't want to go too deep in that, Culture, but what do you think about the idea that there's, as the stock has dropped, it's in Bob Iger's interest to get out now?
Well, it was in his interest to get out when he got out the first time. I mean, look, we can't pretend that there weren't things going out at the time when of course, Ron mentioned with CEOs across the country. Since 2018, there was a mass exodus of CEOs, corporate leaders. It's almost like, they were looking forward and saw maybe bad things on the horizon. And Bob Iger took advantage of that, seeing what was about to happen, having advanced information from his friends over in China, and knowing full well the direction of the company. Everything about it was going to take a hit. So stepping away at the time would have left his legacy intact with a new book that was certainly ghostwritten. And, he didn't have time to write that book. And then you have, and then you bring in a fall guy, so that when things look like they're starting to turn around and numbers go up, you can, have your friends still in the company push him out the door so you can come back to a glorious return. And right now, the market's looking like the wrong direction. Like I said, this guy is like, in the midst of an inverse Kramer, and he knows it. And, so I'm not giving you financial advice, but from an outside observation, I'd say it's a heck of a bear market about to hit us in the face. And I would say, a lot of
wait a minute, Culture.
What?
He's not going to give you financial advice. And he says bear markets. But Culture suspects a bear market.
I did.
Might be coming.
I did. In my opinion, I said that the very first thing I said. No, I was very careful there. I was like,
folks, I'm not giving you financial advice, but the apocalypse, the economic apocalypse of our century is on the way.
Well, no, I wouldn't quite describe it like that. Hey, let's not go back to 2008. But I'm just going to say there's a lot of strangely valued, entrants in the various markets right now that I'm like, this is it's deeply concerning to me. So let's just leave it there.
But we want everybody to get lots more money and all your stocks be fine, right, Culture? That's what we want here.
Of course, yeah. Please don't misunderstand. Anything I said is purely my opinion. But let me redefine everything else for you all. I've seen the way this man operates. Right, he took over at a time when Disney was only going to go in one direction, which was up, and he gave him an opportunity to spend investor money, investor capital on improving one specific theme park and on investing in others. He had to rebuild from the value park they created, the carnival rides they created in the Disneyland parking lot with the DCA at the time. That's why you got DCA 2.0. And right now I would say we're on 4.0, and it's not looking like they did a good job with this. And overall, I just say that he was part of a corporate structure that was abandoning ship already. So let's just, these are all my opinions. I think he's getting out now because he can't afford.
If he gets out, Culture, wait a minute. If he gets out, does he have a stock option? Does he get paid in stock that might be devalued if he stays longer?
I think he's still leveraged into a lot of that situation. He has things he's already quote unquote vested in, I'm certain. And I think it's not unlike him to take the money and run, because every time he's been able to take that stock grant, he's sold it so he could buy a women's soccer team. That was a disaster. And to buy or upgrade a $200 million yacht. So he wants to live the best in life, and he wants to, pretend like he and Aunt Willow are all good.
Listen, and they love a yacht a lot. Culture coverage of this, coverage of the Disney earnings report. Shareholders meeting starts at 10 a.m. here on the Pro Channel on Wednesday. Yeah. And then we'll go to Valiant Renegade at, I think, 12:30 Eastern. And coverage continues after that. I'm sure Culture is going to be providing coverage of it. Ron's going to be providing coverage. Lots of coverage, folks, of what happens on Wednesday with the shareholders meeting. But big deal. Bob Iger going down, his legacy in the drain, and it's raining on the parade he was supposed to have.
And Dreamer's Point is the antithesis of the idea that Walt had this incredible optimism and hope for the future, that if we all work together and we all dream together, we could build the impossible and make it all.
It was measuring attendance at Disney World on July 4th, which didn't really factor in temperature, which is about 100 degrees and 99% humidity on that day.
Dang, it's hot. All right, folks. You know what else is hot? Your super chats. First Dragon Queen for 2. I called it in Ron's chat last night. LOL. Ron, what is Dragon Queen telling us about? What is this? What was called, Ron?
I think the Oscar stuff. I think.
Oh, the Oscar stuff, huh?
But,
okay.
I mean, yeah, it had to be, because I don't think she's talking about the Pizzagate. I mean, pizza. Said the wrong word.
And folks, Ron was a really great guest. We love that guy so much, but he's destroyed everything. Oh, get back in. Ron, what are you doing to us, buddy?
Pizza Wars. Sorry, I always forget. Like, yeah.
Ron, would you like to name Would you like to name the Island Man next? And the few things that remain that'll take you off of YouTube. Quick, cut to commercial.
Return. The Dragon Queen.
Oh boy, I tell you. WJB Daily for 5. Enjoy the shorts t-shirt weather this weekend. It's snowing now. Temperature is going down faster than Disney stock price, but it will rebound Yeah, we were talking with some team members today, and they're in places where it was 77 degrees yesterday, and it's snowing today. So I guess that's a large portion of the middle of the country is experiencing that. What a change in the weather. The sad thing about that is for those of you who live in places where the flowers were blooming and the trees had already sprouted their leaves. So you might think about those places being, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina. I think those places, northern parts of Texas, East Texas, with it getting this cold, it's going to wipe out those new leaves, and it's going to be a brown spring. Ew. We don't like that. Ew. COVID. Let's see. We got a COVID talk here for Metalcore Breakdown just because we're trying to really drive it home. $4.99. Disney loved the pandemic. It was a perfect excuse for them to raise prices and cut the magic. To them, it was a gift. I don't believe it will ever reverse course. For our detractors, they would see this super chat and say, this is bad. This is awful that you say that. Metalcore Breakdown, at first, as I was reading it, I kind of cringed, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Disney used this as an opportunity to completely reset their financial models and just take advantage of people in ways that would have been unimaginable in 2017. You're exactly right. Yeah. How awful.
Super awful.
Wild Men of Yavin is out there dropping 5 That Park Place memberships. Wild Men of Yavin, and thank you, folks. By the way, we are so close. If you have not yet hit subscribe, we are just a few thousand away from the 30K mark. And when we hit, we're 300 away. 300 away from 30K. When we hit it, we're going to win it with a special stream with all of you and maybe even feature Wilton's legs. Who knows?
It was a peaceful planet until he arrived. Then he brought wild to our skies.
Mickey File Podcast is devious for $4.99. You'll know why I said that in a second. What are the odds online that they fired Josh tomorrow and give the job back to Bob before Christmas? That's not, listen, that would be funny. That's what happened to Chapek. But nobody's getting in Dana's way. Ron, what? You look... Ron is clearly just trying to show off his muscles with every new shirt. He's getting a little tighter every single time.
He's playing Ken, the dressing room, like in Ken. Remember Toy Story when Ken was trying on all the clothes?
Oh, you're exactly right. Hi, Ken. Come on, Bobby. Let's go party. Listen, here's the deal with Ron down there. He's into Tuftgate. Tuftgate. So now, Mickey File Podcast, it goes to Dana if they fire Josh. And they just might. Snar, you stink nugget for 2. ¿Dónde está el valor, Bob? That's a great question. We need the Wilton clip here. We got to get the Wilton clip in there. Snarky's out there gifting another 5 That Park Place memberships. Thank you, Snarky. Always supportive and lifting us up with his chocolatey nugget goodness. And by the way, folks, Snarky was playing with us on that game place last night. It was fun to play with Snarky. If you'd like to join and play along with us in gaming streams, go to that game place and become a member at the highest level. It was great playing with Snarky and playing with Tom F. We're going to be playing Tuesday night. That's tomorrow night. Wilton and I are playing Rocket League. So stop on by and see how we do with that one. Dr. RJ is in the house for 2 reverse things to the Eisner era. Except for maybe not how California Adventure was when it opened.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
But other than that, yes. Other than that. Texas 8412 for 5. God dang it, YouTube blocked my Oscars comment. So here's one for the goal. Goal. Thank you, Texas 8412, and thank you for that. Yeah, the Oscars last night were as woke as they can be. Coverage of that on the Pro Show coming out later today after this show concludes. Well, man, if you haven't, member for 24 months. Wait a minute. 24 months? Do you all know what that means?
Celebration.
It's a birthday.
It's a birthday, yeah.
That's a birthday. We'll come back. We'll celebrate your birthday in just a minute. Bob Iger is a very rich idiot. Thanks for the Patreon post. Anytime.
Oh, my goodness.
The first Dragon Queen for 5. Oh, he knows. Oh, he knows there's bears coming after the Kansas City Con. Is that right? Did I get it right? Kansas City Con? KC? Culture? Yes, bears, plural. Wait.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, bother. Where? Wrong bear. Culture, why are there bears coming after the Kansas City?
I don't know, but as I make my way to the postal station today, I'm going to I'm
looking out for bears.
Yeah, because I've got to get Wilton's legs to their owner, and I've got to get the letter to their owner. So
okay,
I will
bears, KC.
Culture. I feel like if you're going postal, you need to wear the costume.
Probably.
No.
Probably.
Claim is culture shirt is better. But folks, once again, let me tell you, when you hit 24 months here as a member, we consider that to be a birthday.
Culture shirt. What shirt are you wearing, Culture? I can't see it.
Hang on.
Is it a black shirt?
Yeah,
Nike. I like that.
Yeah, I'm simple, and I like to limit the amount of laundry that the boss does. So I wear a lot of dark clothing. So
Yeah, I like dark clothing too.
yeah,
That's very nice of you, Culture. I mean, very nice of you.
yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta help out in your own way. You know.
I didn't know that. I just you're telling me now for the first time.
There you go.
Really? Ron, how does it make you feel that people are saying that culture shirt is better after you just changed shirts for the purpose of everybody out there?
I just changed shirts because my other one was like you could see through. That was weird. So.
Whoa. We talked about the standards for the show. You don't wear stuff that you can see through it, okay?
I have a white golf shirt that I love to wear when I'm golfing, but on camera with the lights the way they work, there are two things that show on the screen.
Yeah,
I know.
I know what you're talking about.
So that's no bueno. And then I've got a salmon colored shirt that
is it made out of salmon?
No, it's just very thin. It's made out of those breathable, cooling materials.
Pro would ask that. Is it made out of salmon?
If it's made out of salmon, I mean, you could imagine the smell would just be. You don't even need cologne, especially if it's smoked salmon.
Hey, it's the shirt.
You couldn't keep the ladies off of you if you walked around smelling like smoked salmon.
I'm just saying it's the shirt I wore to go to the Barbie beach party to see.
You know what I would call a shirt made out of smoked salmon?
Bear chum.
Sashimi breeze.
Sashimi breeze.
Yeah.
Makes
Snarky for 5. Wild Man of Yavin, a TPP toddler. Oh my. And Metalcore Breakdown for $1.99. No disrespect to anyone who suffered from the coof. All right, well, we said it was a birthday out there, right? We said it was a birthday. Let's celebrate a birthday. 2 years for Yavin.
Make a wish. Blow out your candles.
From the heart of the park. And they're mad. They're angry. The Wokies are not taking this well from Pixar. IndieWire has this by Wilson Chapman. No, Pixar does not need to give up autobiographical stories. They called them therapy movies. You remember that? This is an example, folks, of the anger that is boiling up, bubbling up, percolating into the conversational sphere by those who hold dear the values of wokeism, especially in kids' content, because how else are you going to propagandize the kids, right? All right, here's what they got to say about it. Get ready. This past week was an odd one for Pixar. On one hand, the company scored a pretty sizable win in the first weekend of their new film Hoppers, which opened to $46 million domestically. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that escape me? $46 million, a big win. Come on. With healthy reviews and good word of mouth, the film will likely have decent legs and prove a sizable hit for the company. Till Mario comes. God, good Lord, folks. This thing cost them. They need $300 million to break even on it, okay? That's all I'm going to say. And they're celebrating $46 million domestically. And they get half of that back. This made the dour tone of the Wall Street Journal profile, the studio's chief Pete Docter, which was published this Friday and got widely shared on social media, feel slightly surreal. Well, the only reason it feels surreal to the author of this is because they don't watch this channel or the Pro channel or Culture Casino or follow the Bradley's Fun. If they did, they would understand that celebrating $46 million, a mediocre opening, the second worst adjusted for inflation for Pixar, celebrating that is insane. But that's the narrative. But it's insane if you actually do it logically. Okay? So the reason the Wall Street Journal is putting out a dour synopsis of what's happening at Pixar is because, wait for this, folks, wait for it. It's dour. It turns out that this nonsense about Hoppers being a big-time box office win is just silly. But guess what? Now they're angry, and they're angry because what Mr. Doctor said, the head of Pixar. The central crux behind the piece is how an attempt to remain afloat and find a hit Pixar under Doctor, who the reporter characterizes as a very reluctant leader, who only took the job out of necessity, of course, is focusing on universal stories, as opposed to ones that are personal to the artist behind them. This has been reported before, but the Wall Street Journal story goes deeper into how pandemic-era releases like Soul, Luca, and Turning Red, as well as films like Elemental and Elio, are seen as failures internally by a company searching for a franchise to pin its future on. What, we're not going to mention Lightyear or Strange World? We're not going to talk about those? By the way, Turning Red, they like to claim that this didn't go to theaters and that's why it failed. Turning Red did not go to theaters because Disney yanked it at the last minute and used the pandemic as an excuse. It was supposed to go to theaters. It was coming out at a time when other movies were out in theaters doing well. Spider-Man No Way Home. Turning Red was yanked because the company got a hold of it and said, oh my gosh, we're making an allegory for menstruation. And we're putting, no, the little girl wins by defeating her mother by twerking in her mother's, no, we are not going to put that in theaters. And of course, that defended it, right? According to the story, the belief is those films failed to take off because audiences struggled to relate to them. Movies like Turning Red and Elemental come from Asian directors Dami Shi and Peter Sohn. This is how they'll defend it, by the way. It's not that one of these films is an allegory for menstruation and for puberty and twerking at your mother is how you defeat her. No. It's that the directors are Asian. That's because it's always that. Both of whom drew from their childhoods and families while making the movies. Luca also drew from director Enrico Casarosa's childhood in Italy. There's nothing wrong with Luca. It's a poor man's Little Mermaid. But a central scene in the piece is Doctor gathering Pixar staff in late 2023 for a meeting in which he bluntly told the staff to look for more broadly commercial hooks over quote-unquote autobiographical stories. Now, this goes on to really go after Pete Docter and Pixar because they're furious that the strategy has changed. It says in a quote that generated some controversy, Docter explained that parents don't want to have conversations with kids about weirdness and that we're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. It's a depressing attitude, one that my coworker Chris O'Fault wrote about in a piece unpacking the studio's rocky history with the LGBT reps. It's also bluntly insane to hear coming from the man who made Inside Out. They are not happy. They want this kind of content to continue, MJ. They want parents to be forced to talk about this kind of stuff after they leave the theaters. They don't want parents to have the time and the choosing when they talk to their kids about the birds and the bees and how different people, have views about all this stuff. They want to preempt it. They're mad that Pixar is getting away from it. But the difference in a woke film for kids and a non-woke film is insane. Lightyear and Strange World struggle to make $100 million versus you can make $1 billion if you scrub it out of Inside Out 2. So MJ, they're angry. We knew they were going to be angry. Your thoughts now on the backlash aimed at Pixar by those who want to indoctrinate kids?
Oh, they can be angry all they want. And we will, the parents that, have the, I don't know, how do I say this? Let me just be really careful. For those that are conservative and have beliefs similar to myself, for example, we're a Christian family, we're conservatives, and we do not believe in the things that have been pushed down and forced upon us. I would never give them my money. I would rather wait for it to go on Disney Plus and watch it, me and my better half. We're just not going to condone any kind of nonsense. And it brings up such a good point. Remember that movie, Ron, that you were talking about the other day that had no publicity whatsoever. It didn't have any wokeness in it, and it just didn't have that good commercialism to push it out. The goat. I would rather give them my money than Pixar. As much as I love Disney and I grew up with Disney and all this and this and that, that whole thing about A Strange World and Elio, I don't know about the Elios movie because I didn't even entertain that. We watched it for 5 minutes and turned it off. It's just boring. And I thought Luca was cute, but they cannot continue to do these things. They're learning now, and they can be upset all they want. But the majority of parents out there are just not ready to have those conversations with little children. We're talking about kids under the age of 12. I mean, why should we have to? There's just no need for any of that. We just need to get back to good, clean family fun, a good story, and I think someone made a very good point in the live chat. They need to make a public notice and apologize to John Lasseter and bring him back. I don't know how that would even work out, but they need to bring him back, and they desperately need it. The numbers speak for themselves. Mm-hmm.
He's working for the Ellisons now. Why would he want to? I mean, he doesn't want to come work for this Disney company that did him that way. He gave them all the success in the world, and they fired him for hugging, not inappropriately hugging, just for hugging. This is the real reason why they have to change now. Yeah. Super Mario Galaxy movie is orbiting 160 plus on the 5-day. We are hearing right now that it's actually increased over the weekend, and now the projections are getting to 180.
Yep.
180.
It looks good. I mean, all the ads look great.
Clean. It looks clean.
Right. And it's okay. So real quick though, if it's a 1-to-1 on the domestic and the international, this is just the domestic. If that's a 1-to-1, if we have just the same amount on the international, which is what we would at least expect, culture, that would be a 360 if it's 180. That'd be a $360 million opening. And the way that you do that is you just make something everybody enjoys and don't get into divisiveness with kids' content. It's insanely simple. It's insane. These people would make Bambi want to be, with other species at this point. I mean, it's crazy what they want to do, but all you got to do is just make something everybody can enjoy, and you're going to, you can print millions and billions of dollars. Go ahead, Culture.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. And look, I mean, all I'm going to say is this: they can track all these numbers based on pre-sales. Pre-sales kind of set the bar for what the expectation is of the opening. You've been able to buy these tickets for a while, but this original story, this original number that Pro just brought up was from, I think, the 6th of March. We were at the 16th of March. That was 10 days ago. These numbers are going to be refined upwards. It also is embarrassing for Disney that they had to make all of the coverage of this particular film be about a whole string of caveats that would give you the false impression that this is just the best animated movie ever. It's the biggest movie of the year so far. And again, why are they phrasing it that way? Because they know it's about to get shellacked by something that is, truly desired by the audience. So it was an original film. No, it wasn't. It was Avatar all over again. Hoppers is garbage. This restructures an argument amount. If you make a good film, something that people can look forward to, and you are trusted, you will get the benefit of the doubt from the public, and they'll show up to see your animated film. Do you know who's trusted right now? And this is bizarre to me, is it's not Disney, it's other companies.
Japan, right? It's culturally, right? So your culture casino, it's Korea, it's Japan. That's where Americans now put their trust that they can watch stuff and it'll harken back to the Western hits.
You know how heartbreaking it was to get we really got let down when they did. Remember Lightyear? How exciting it was at first, because who doesn't like Buzz Lightyear? But then once you realize what it was so bad. I remember that year my son had a birthday party. We got Lightyear toys and Lightyear, stuff. I will not condone the devil's work. I threw it in the trash afterwards when everyone left. I didn't even want to put it in a Goodwill because I'm not going to pass it on in a Goodwill. I'm not. It went in the garbage because I don't want anything like that around my son. I don't want, and it was just, they could have done so much with that movie. They could have done a better job, and they chose to do what they did with it, and the numbers speak for themselves, and they should be embarrassed and upset.
Isn't there also a certain irony in the fact that the people that threw John Lasseter out for hugging are also the same people that have this kind of strange ideology, if you will, that want to push. They want to push a certain thing on kids, a certain ideology, a certain point of view, and yet they themselves can't deal with hugs. Like, and just that. I have a hard time wrapping my head around what people pick and choose to be offended by in this situation. It's just, and also I noticed that none of those articles went into the very specific thing where we saw that one lady behind the scenes who said, what did she admit to, having a not so secret gay agenda when it came to creating LGBT 50%. She wanted LGBT content and 50% of kids content. I'm like, that's which is way higher than society. And it shouldn't be in kids content anyway. And the people arguing it, that it should be, we see Prince and Princesses kiss. Well, yeah, most kids grow up in a household with a mom and dad. Vast majority. I'm sorry, the numbers are what they are, people. It just is what it is. You're
going to tell us how kids happen, Ronnie. Easy now. The kids out there that are listening, they're going to figure it out.
I'm just saying.
Storks and stuff.
The numbers are what they are. There are societal averages across thousands of years of human history that back up, traditional families. So it is what it is. And I just wish that they would get back to traditional storytelling. And I know it's not Pixar, but how about, here's a crazy idea. Why doesn't a Mickey Mouse company have a movie starring Mickey Mouse? What a weird idea that would be.
Well, because they're terrified to put Mickey Mouse out there because their content creators would ruin Mickey Mouse on the big screen. Folks, real quick though, I do want to just remind you so that we dissuade anybody who's gone insane and thinks that Hoppers is doing well. Maybe you listen to the mainstream media. Maybe you were paying attention to the dinosaurs. Tell grandma and grandpapa that this is what's really going on. I don't care what they say. Hoppers, as of right now, according to the numbers, still has yet to cross the $90 million mark after 2 weekends. Still has yet to cross the $90 million mark for a Pixar film, okay? And guess what? It's got one more week, and then Mario's here, all right? Now, if we don't have the international numbers, unfortunately, right now, but if Hoppers is doing a 1-to-1, then this thing is still not at $200 million, all right? It needs $300 million to break even. Really probably needs more than that, but we'll give it to that, okay? It doesn't. It needs $500 million. No, don't say it, bro. Don't say it. This thing is floptacular, and they are doing everything they can to pretend otherwise. But that's why you're getting these two stories. You're getting the stories about Hoppers is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's the greatest thing since Coco. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. It's the greatest thing since Pan de Muerto. And at the same time, we're changing everything at Pixar. We promise. Totally. Believe us. Everything's going to be different now. That's what's going down. That's what's happening. Folks, we'll keep paying attention to it, but the backlash is going to be for real. They're angry they can't get into your kids' heads anymore, at least for another year or two. And it's time to hit those super chats. Folks, I believe we are halfway to the super chat goal, and we really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. If we hit that super chat goal today, we're going to play a Clipathon, and we are so excited about that. The first Dragon Queen for 2 Culture has a Sesame Seed Man shirt.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to wear it on one of the Garden Place videos. It's going to get released when I turn the channel on. So.
We need it, Culture. At a time such as this, never has humanity needed a gardening place channel and content more than now.
Me too.
Will you be doing aquaculture as well?
Yeah, I'll teach people about hydroponics, aquaponics, aeroponics. I'll teach you how to grow without soil if you want to. I can teach you how to do a lot of the techniques that are on display.
You're gonna throw some tilapia in a big container and.
Yeah, I mean, look, aquaponics conquers 2 things simultaneously. The biggest problem
you little pescatarian. Go ahead.
You got the problem is that sometimes farmed fish can create a situation where you're concentrating bad things, not just good things. And
that's nitrogen, right? Too much nitrogen.
No, I was going to say lead and other similar heavy metals.
Whoa! We're not doing tuna here. Keep the mercury away, buddy.
I know, but there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that can show up. in animals. So you have to be very careful with their feed and everything else. And fortunately, if you're reinforcing the diet with healthy material, you usually are in good shape. But you can also you can also increase the massive amounts of growth you get and protein that you get to actually help with animal feed. So if you happen to have a farm with livestock, you can actually concentrate some duckweed on your aquaponic system, and you can actually benefit that. And again, it all comes down to how you are going about producing or creating a nitrogen cycle for both plant and animal. So.
Did you just promote the use of weed on this channel?
Duckweed specifically.
What are you thinking, you guys? Pizzas and gates and
duckweed's fine.
Duckweed.
That's a protein dense vegetable. It's very strange.
Catweed, is that a thing? Is there a catweed?
No, but there is. What's the thing they like? Catnip. There's catnip.
There's ragweed. I wouldn't recommend growing that.
No bueno for allergies. So.
Snarky's out there for 5. Traditional is magical MJ. Who'da thunk it? You rock.
I try to be really careful on here, because of the things I want to say, I can't say. I have to be discreet, but I can only hold back so much. It's not, I was thinking about the Cars is such a great. What a great movie, Cars. And, it did so well and the merchandise sold. So look at the merchandise for all the woke movies, right? They didn't sell. They're on clearance. No one wants them. They're at Goodwill probably sitting there.
MJ, of all the places that you're worried about what you say, this is not one of them. Unless you're like Ron and you're going to talk about what's happening at the local Italian restaurant.
From what I remember, Lightning McQueen fell in love with Sally, not Mater. So, that movie did pretty well.
Whoa, that's a ka-ching ka-chow. Easy there.
Yes.
But here's the cool thing, right? Disney was able because of Pixar and because of the amazing storytelling of Laughter, they were able to hide a serial killer right in front of the entire audience.
Oh, who is that?
Mater. Mater is a serial killer.
Really?
What?
Oh,
he's a cow tipper. He's not a killer.
I don't know. Did you notice that, all of a sudden there's a junkyard, a bunch of dead cars there, and he's pulling parts off of them, everything else?
Funny. Oh.
Yeah.
Get her done.
Hauling the cars. Cars
Get her done, man.
I'm telling you.
But if they really wanted to ruin Mario, they could have done like some weird, they could have snuck in some weird stuff in there, and they're not doing that. They're leaving it so clean and beautiful for everybody. You can just go to the theater in good confidence. That
peaches.
I'm not going to hype it too much, but I am very excited to see it. I'm going to see it early. I'm very early. I'm also going to see Project Hail Mary early, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I'll just say this about Super Mario. Do you think that Brian Roberts is thrilled that he's just sticking it to Disney every single day, including and especially in the theaters and theme parks?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mario, Luigi, and a donkey
What's
come
the name
to
of that new character that's being introduced in this one? The girl.
Rosalina.
Is that her name? But that's her character name in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have done some weird stuff, and they're not doing it. And
1,000 Koopa Troopers couldn't keep me from you. Snarky's out there for 5s. Disney movies are like lemmings going splat. Nintendo characters, wahoo, are timeless from the console that saved gaming NES forever.
Yes.
Snarky, we know what you love. We know what you love.
Mm-hmm.
First Dragon Queen for 2. Careful, Steve might eat those fish live. Yet don't let Steve at your hydroponics farm there, Culture. Keep him away. No aquaponics for him. I don't know that he would have to unhinge his jaw to swallow a whole tilapia. But goldfish. Grow koi instead.
Well, there's certain kind of bass that make for great farm fish, and there's a perch, especially Australian perch, if you can get them. Mm-hmm. They probably are not allowed in some states, but there's a lot of good fish to farm for sure. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to that. I want to show people you don't need all the space that I'm going to have the luxury of having when I relocate. But of course, I have a lot more space than most people do where I live now. And you don't need the luxury of space. It's just nice to have to grow more food.
So, Culture, I just want you to know that if you start growing bass in your greenhouse, the jokes will write themselves.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, the small species of like hybrid bass, especially.
That as soon as you start growing bass, that Wilton is going to tell you you have a fine looking, never mind, just leave it alone. Leave it, culture, leave it, don't.
Okay.
No.
I stopped.
He's a troll. We don't need to give him material.
Okay.
Bruce Newhouse, member for 3 months. No snotweed for culture and pro.
Yeah.
No, that's
what it
MJ
is.
and Ron. They're the ones struggling with the allergies right now. No.
Yeah, I got everything. I got the whole, like a whole holistic countertop full of stuff. And yeah, I'm trying culture. I am trying holistic, but then I got the other stuff that's gotta, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
I get it. Yeah. At a certain point, you got to give up on some things just to make sure you get things taken care of. So I guess
that's right.
Yeah.
I got
you.
MJ is becoming a superstar here for 2, says Team MJ. Watch legacy content and wish magic back.
Okay. Yes, that's what we have to do. We have to support what's right. We have to support what's right. What's wrong is wrong. What's right is right. Good versus evil, and good, clean, family fun entertainment. This household, we love old school movies. I mean, over the weekend, we like the 90s films. We were just watching Castaway. What a great movie. Do you guys remember Castaway? It was so well done. I'm like, why can't they do movies like this anymore? Just
Poor
why?
Wilson. Poor Wilson.
Wilson, yeah. It's such a good movie. It's like it was gloomy and rainy outside. It was so perfect.
What if I told you that? What if I told you some signs are pointing towards good, fun, family, clean fun on the way? What if I told you that's on the way? And I got a story about it. You want to do that one?
Great. That would be lovely.
Ron, you up for it? It is the show that broke woke Disney and forced them to make a change. And now they're making a big change, signing a huge deal with the BBC to get Bluey at everything Disney. This is out of Disney Parks blog. It says Bluey at Disneyland Resort. Know before you go. Here's what it says. And remember, it's also coming to Disney World, but it says Bluey, the beloved blue heeler dog, and her little sister Bingo, Bluey, will make soon their Disneyland Resort debut for real life. Bluey is joining Disney Experiences, a part of Disney's global relationship with BBC Studios, a.k.a. BBC Studios making a lot of money, because I'll guarantee you, Disney is paying so much money for this. They are paying so much money. And how do you know they're paying so much money? Because it took them a long time to get an agreement here. How long has Bluey been dominating Disney Plus? How long?
Well, I believe about 1.5 years ago, they tried doing a Bluey, I think it was like a hide and seek type of thing at the Fort Wilderness Lodge, and they shut it down.
Yeah, because no contract in place yet.
Exactly. And now they're doing what they need to do and putting the money where it needs to go for something wonderful like this. This is great.
Here's the statement that tells you money, money, money.
Mm-hmm.
With the producers of Bluey from Ludo Studio collaborating on special fan activations. So Disney has only picked up special fan activations. And what we're finding out from this statement is, it's not like they inserted this statement for the fun of it. Somewhere this is required for them to say, Ludo Studio that does Bluey, they're in charge of it. So this is just like with J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the rights. Disney will sacrifice whatever to be able to get whatever they can from Bluey. Beginning March 22nd, 2026, Bluey's Best Day Ever at the Fantasyland Theater in Disneyland Park will celebrate the heart and humor of the critically acclaimed animated series Bluey. Bluey's Best Day Ever arrives during the Disneyland Resort 70th celebration, which honors 7 decades of the happiest place on Earth. So there you can see the Bluey and Bingo costumes, and they're going to be there at Disneyland. They're going to be at Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom. Says, with its big heart and boundless energy, Bluey's Best Day Ever invites guests of all ages to laugh louder, dance harder, and play together, because when everybody joins in, well, that really is the best day ever at Disneyland. You can see now they got the sign up here. Ron, here's the deal about it. So they've been working overtime to get Bluey. Bluey caused them a lot of problems because Bluey's so darn successful. Bluey basically propped up all of Disney Plus. It made it so they had to make a fake list of top trending shows. And we know that it was a fake list because Bluey would be number one every single time. It forced them to have to put in all these caveats when they would brag and say, this latest Star Wars thing is the greatest thing on Disney Plus ever. And then there'd be like this long list of caveats because Bluey always is number one. In fact, if you were to combine, we believe, the Star Wars tab and the Marvel tab on Disney Plus, Bluey would beat both of them in viewership. That's how big Bluey is. Ron, they're spending, I believe, a ton of money to pretend that Bluey is a Disney property. And I don't begrudge them for that. They should. But this is still a BBC thing. It's licensed. out of Australia, even by the BBC. So Disney is now licensing from the BBC from Australia, from Australia Broadcast. And Ron, the thing about it is, Bluey goes completely against everything Disney believed in. It's everything Disney was not, and it succeeded, and it just overwhelmed Disney's own properties.
Yep.
What does that say about the company and where it is?
Well, I mean, that's it. Bluey is, let's put it this way, it is very much about what the company used to stand for, say 30, 40, 50 years ago, definitely under Walt, the kind of things that Walt wanted, traditional families and family get-togethers, family issues. But there's another angle to this where I do believe that Disney, in licensing this for the parks, is going to get their money back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That is because I just checked out the fact that at least at Disneyland and probably Disney World, it will be a Lightning Lane experience.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Let's talk about it, Ron, because if they do Lightning, this is what we suspected. If they make the train ride up to the conservation station where Bluey's going to be at Disney World, if they make that Lightning Lane, there's no infrastructure for that at all at Disney World. So I don't know how they're going to do that. You got any ideas?
They could, I don't know that you would necessarily need Lightning Lane to get on the train, but they could, if the train wait, you
can't dump that many people off the train, Ron. You can't dump that many people off the train and them all be there to watch Bluey, and now there's a Lightning Lane line on it. It's got to happen at the train.
All I know is that they are doing work back there, and I don't know if they're going to be restructuring the whole area back there or what. Yeah, it would be a mess, but apparently there's going to be one at Disneyland, so I don't know. Yeah, of course it could depend on popularity. Maybe at Disney World, maybe it's not. Maybe
it's also going to the cruise line too.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Yeah. It's cruise lines. That's a huge advantage to getting people on the Disney cruise. By the way, I will say this for Disney: there was a commercial that I saw during the Oscars for the Disney Cruise Line that was maybe the best Disney commercial that I've ever seen. Oh. And it was it was a young man. It started with an old guy, right? And then it cuts quickly to a young guy who you don't realize at the time is a younger version of this man. And he's like, oh, it's 2 a.m. The baby's not asleep. And he's like, I'm just going to go for a walk on the deck with the baby. Goes for a walk on the deck with the baby, and then comes back when he's like 5 years old. They're on another cruise, go on a walk. As the kid gets older, he's like, Dad, can we go for that walk? And then,
oh, I love that. Does it make you cry?
Yes, it makes me cry.
I need to see that. Like, because I love that.
At the end of the commercial, and it's only like 30 seconds long, the kid comes with his dad. The kid comes with his baby to Grandpa, and they're in a separate room on the cruise. And he's like, knock, knock, knock. Hey, Dad, the baby can't sleep. Do you want to go for a walk with us?
Oh my God, I love that so much.
Yeah,
that's what they need to do. They need to bring that magic back and bring it for generations so that you can continue that, pass it on. And if they don't do what they're supposed to do, they're going to jeopardize the whole passing it from generation to generation. That's the beauty. That's the magic. Those memories that are being made.
They can't do that with the dad taking his son to Tom Sawyer's Island anymore at Walt Disney World.
Right. Hey, Culture, if you had a property that was bigger than Star Wars and Marvel combined, which is Bluey, I know that sounds insane, but the ratings are the ratings. The views are the views. I mean, it's bigger than Marvel and Star Wars combined. If I'm Disney, I'm doing everything I can to get control of that because it's bigger than Harry Potter at my parks if I can do it. I'm going to come up with a drink that's a specifically Bluey drink. It's going to be butterscotch because I'm going to rip off butterbeer. I don't care. But Culture, here's the deal. Bluey right now, Disney is paying an enormous amount to get these little experiences that are being controlled by the Australian studio. If Disney wants to play ball, and I think they should spend whatever it takes to get that expansion pad in Animal Kingdom turned into Australia. Because even if one day, Culture, and this, get off the screen, Google Earth, I know how to use you. Okay. Even if you lose Bluey at some point, Australian animals are never going to be out of vogue. It's always going to be something that people want to see. Kangaroos, joeys, wallabies, platypi, you get the idea. And you can put Bluey right here in this giant expansion pad that's always been there. It can be as big as Africa. You can have trails to go on, to see all the animals. But Bluey can be the thing that drives this. And suddenly Animal Kingdom's the most popular theme park in Orlando if they put Bluey there.
Yeah, and it does create an issue for them, Pro. It's something that most people don't recognize. The backside of that will force them to develop the rest of the Everest Mountain instead of just the visual side that we see.
Culture, I wish I was as optimistic as you are, but I've seen the backside of Tron, and I know what they'll do.
I've seen the backside of water, and I wasn't as impressed as you would think I would be.
That's right. The show buildings don't matter anymore to this company.
Well, it matters to me. So you would have to finish that workout, and before you do that, you need to fix the darn Yeti. But that's a whole other conversation. Look, I've always thought it was foolhardy not to develop the dragon area that they'd originally promised. And then to add in Australia, I think we should have all the continents represented. To be fair, and I think there are plenty of animals and animal species that would cross over well in the Florida weather, and I would love to see wallabies and kangaroos and other things like that I won't find on the savannah. Right,
Culture. I have great news for you.
Okay,
turns out from this angle.
Yeah.
Everest is the show building is blocked, so you're good. From that angle, from where Australia would go if they want to do it with Bluey. Now, of course, folks, you can see some of the utilities that go into the Kali River Rapids, but that would be covered up with foliage and stuff.
Yeah, power stations are always covered over and hidden behind backstage. But
Everest is fully ready to go for this area.
I don't know about that, but okay. I mean,
you're looking at it. What do you mean you don't know about it? It's literally right there.
Pro, you remember the affection section?
Yes.
Okay, so what they are doing?
They just removed.
Yeah. Well, what they're doing with the affection section, they're making that into and I got this directly from a cast member. So with one of the blue name tags, he said that they're taking affection section that's gone. No more petting. There's going
no
to
more
be
goats. No more sheep.
Some type of a walk through thing there where you see Australian animals, but that's not very big. It's really small. So I'm not sure how they're going to do that in that small amount of area, but apparently there will be some type of Australian thing back there. Now, could they be using that as a test for, hey, maybe we can use this expansion pad and make it into an Australian? I would love to see like maybe Australia and New Zealand. I was thinking of a boat ride that would mimic the cave where you can see the glowworms. I think that's in New Zealand. That would be kind of cool.
That is a cool idea.
Anything that is not necessarily just attached to the Bluey IP, but maybe it's just fun and I don't know, original.
It's very doable, and Disney. It's just money. It's just money. So pay. It's going to take a huge amount, but pay and get Bluey to go to Animal Kingdom and get a presence at Disneyland. This is a property that's bigger again than Star Wars and Marvel combined. And how did it happen? How did they do it? Disney had nothing to do with it. That's the thing. Bluey is everything that Disney did not want to be. And it turns out they've been rewarded handsomely, lucking into a partnership with a little show they had no idea what it was going to become. Six super chats away.
Traditional family values. Can you imagine? Amazing.
Oh, that's so cheeky. All right, folks, let's get to it. 400 of you joining us right now, and we are 6 super chats away from the goal. Let's get that goal. England DG for 5. Let's see. Oi, or we. You've got a license for that? BBC has issues collecting TV license fees as people move away from even iPlayer. BBC missed this by almost a decade. Yes, that is exactly right. And why? I'm going to tell you, folks, I think they believed Bluey was this quaint little thing that just didn't matter. It was traditional. It was old. Time had passed it by, and it turns out time never passes by those universal truths that Bluey focuses on.
Amen.
Bruce Newhouse for $4.99. Lightning Lane in Animal Kingdom will have an elevated walkway. The normal lane will open across the lion enclosure. Listen, you don't have to worry about the lion enclosure, okay? The crocodiles, you don't fall in there. But the lion, if you walk anywhere near the lions, you're fine. Because that rock is air conditioned and that male lion is not moving from it. If it's a hot day, I don't care if you wore ribeyes all over you. I'm not recommending you do. I don't, folks, if Culture goes there with his salmon shirt, doesn't matter. That lion's not moving from an air conditioned rock. He loves that thing. Pride Rock is his. England DG for 5, generational story taken from TDL. Tokyo Disneyland, look up the animated commercial. We came here together for one and forever where all of your dreams come true.
That's so beautiful.
I love it. What a nice line.
Yeah.
Snarky for 5, just delusional. Y'all just a figment of your imagination. Disney is too self-destructive. We'll see. Oh, Ron's got figment right there. Yeah. That was a hard-fought, hard-won popcorn bucket, eh?
They're learning, though, Snarky. They're learning. They're getting their...
Actually,
it seems like they're trying to get their act together.
Because what do they love more than virtue? Everybody, what do they love more than virtue?
Money.
Money, that's right.
And they got all the Bluey snacks ready to go. I saw the line. I saw the the advertisement for all the treats that they have themed to Bluey, and they look quite interesting. Even if you don't like Bluey, the snacks look delicious.
You're telling me they're not Outback Steakhouse snacks?
No.
Where's my Bluey Bloomin' Onion?
They're geared to appease to everyone. Actually, there's like slushies and a little pastry thing and a watermelon popsicle cake pop looking thing. It's cute.
I love right now. There's somebody out there. One of our Australian viewers is so mad at me right now for saying, "Where's my Bluey Blooming Onion?" I know. Outback Steakhouse is as not Australian as you can be, right? I know. Where's my Bluey Beef Wellington? How's that? Is that better? All right. England DG for 2. My bus driver told me Bluey is replacing Tower of Terror.
Oh.
Well, wouldn't that be fun? Bandit would enjoy that. Yeah, Bandit would love replacing Tower of Terror with, the Bluey drop. Surely, right? All right. And Wildman of Yavin for 5. Out of obligation, never an invitation. No, it's always an invitation, Wildman of Yavin. Always an invitation. I got that reversed one time. I apologize profusely. There are some sites out there that need to be apologizing profusely, folks, and we don't normally call out. I don't want to call these people competition because they're not competition, but we don't normally call out people's companies and websites directly, but it's gotten too much. If you clicked on this show today thinking, what in the world is this about? Cinderella Castle on fire, Disney scammers. Well, folks, there's more than 400 of you here gathered together to find out what this is about. I'm going to tell you as soon as I read this super chat. Wildman of Yavin for 5. Hey, Outback Steakhouse gave me a steak while I was deployed to Afghanistan. Outback has a special place for that.
I love Outback, but do you guys remember when Olive Garden was good? I remember in the 90s, it was like if someone had a birthday, that was where you went and celebrated a birthday. Now it's like garbage. If I go to Olive Garden, I will leave purple, blue, and green. Like I just cannot eat there.
I'm lucky. Our local Olive Garden is actually really good because it's just down the street from the Darden headquarters, and they get visited by their leadership all the time.
Well, that's why, because the other ones over here are garbage. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I stopped eating at Olive Garden years ago, but that used to be a thing. Chili's was good. I can't do those places anymore.
Hey, Culture, would you call Jonas and let him know the Olive Garden sponsorship is probably gone for the channel? Thanks, buddy.
Culture, isn't it true? They fill up their food with all these chemicals, right? That's why I look like purple and green when I leave. You feel
don't set this man up for that. That's an hour segment now for Culture. What are you doing to me, MJ?
But it's true. But I love Outback. I don't get sick at Outback. I don't know why, but Olive Garden, I just can't. It's too artificial.
Well, okay. So what if I told you that most of the restaurants get all of their foods from somebody else, and they're already prepared and ready for reheating, rehydration, whatever it takes.
I tried to stop this.
You didn't. Well, of all the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
Well, and that's been happening for a long time. It happened to the Cracker Barrel. Why that food became less valuable?
Oh, yeah.
And look, it's either U.S. Foods or oh my gosh, the name just fell out of my head.
Cisco.
But
There's Cisco.
What are you doing?
Cheney
No,
Brothers.
no, he'll never
US
stop
Foods.
now. I tried to stop it.
I'm sorry.
Cheney Brothers is pretty good. Sorry, Pro.
You
But
both
yeah,
get this
but-
one today. You both get this one.
Well, Pro, if you think about it, all of our tasty treats that we look forward to and want to try because they show it on the advertisements or it's on the, your Instagram reels. We got to find out the ingredients on some of these tasty treats at the parks and all these other places that we enjoy.
And
It's the truth. It's factual.
Nothing like a
is
tasty
satisfying.
arsenic dog. The first Dragon Queen for 5, because tomorrow I'll be acting a fool on my stream with pirates, booze, crazy quotes, and sea shanties.
Oh, first Dragon Queen. We started watching One Piece. We did start a little bit because we're in the beginning of the season, but I thought about you and I was looking for your channel on YouTube. I couldn't find it. Maybe you guys could put a link in the chat for me so I can chit chat with first Dragon Queen.
That would be cool. Packing Protons for 2. Was there any Kathy Kennedy award last night? Nope. She's gone. She's done. She's over. They moved on. That was the point. And she was sent out in an unceremonious way. Same thing for Bob, by the way, not at the Oscars last night, but DeMauro and Walden there. They have moved on. Wall Street has said, no more Kathy, no more Bob. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. All right, folks, we've got some sites out there that should be done because they are making all their money off some of the most deranged headlines we've ever seen. Let's talk about it right now.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Walt.
You enjoy it.
We will.
An entire economy is blooming out there, but not the kind you want to be. It's happening on the internet, and it's sites that are making up horrible headlines. I'm not saying that they're lying, but let's just say if you click on them, you might be misled. Here's what one of them says. Inside the Magic, 2 fires reported at Disney World's Outdoor Mall on March 15th. Oh, no, 2 fires at Disney's Outdoor Mall. What's going on? It goes on to say, on Sunday morning, this is from Inside the Magic, on Sunday morning, law enforcement responded to 2 separate reports of a fire at Disney Springs, Walt Disney World's resort's shopping, dining, and entertainment complex. Here's everything we know. Here's the first fire at Disney Springs. Law enforcement first responded to Disney Springs shortly after 4 a.m., before the shopping, dining, and entertainment complex opened the Walt Disney World Resort guest. Scanner monitoring account WDW Active Crime shared the details on the call on X. Fire alert, 4:18 a.m., fire at Disney Springs. The Google Maps screenshot attached to the post shows a pin at the center of Disney Springs. However, this does not necessarily correspond to the emergency's location. Okay? Walt Disney World Resort did not issue any public statements about the reported fire at Disney Springs. It's unknown whether there was any lasting damage. Disney Springs opened at, okay. Second one, 10:30 a.m. All right, 10:32 a.m., fire alert. Once again, Walt Disney World Resort did not issue a public response to the reported fire. Okay. Yes, shouldn't expect any closure to... What? Okay, so there's no fire? Folks, 2 alarms may have gone off. It could have been the same alarm. As soon as one of these alarms goes off, it's automatically logged, and it gets posted on this X account. So if there's a faulty fire alarm, or if somebody's testing the fire alarm, it automatically gets logged. There's no fire. It's just, it's the worst kind of article, right? Because you click on it thinking, oh no, Disney Springs is burning down. What about Disney Dining? Another website. Walt Disney World hit by power outage. Multiple locations shut down by Alicia Dunn. Now remember, these are Google News certified websites. If you are at Walt Disney World today, you already know the weather is not cooperating. Thunderstorms have been moving through the Orlando area since this morning. The resort is feeling it in the usual ways. Outdoor attractions cycling down, guests retreating under cover. It's a fluff paragraph. There's nothing there. What is less usual is what happened at Disney Springs this afternoon. Planet Hollywood and Chicken Guy are both closed today due to a power issue. Disney Springs has not issued a formal statement on the closure or confirmed a direct connection to the storms, but the timing is notable. Seriously? Chicken Guy and Planet Hollywood, I believe, are on the same power.
It's the same building.
Building.
Yeah. Everything's the same there.
So a single building that has no connection to storms whatsoever had a power issue, and they ran an article as if their storms are wiping out the power grid of Disney. If we go down here, what else is down across the resort right now? What is this horrible storm doing, folks? Expedition Everest Animal Kingdom is shut down. It shuts down every day that there's lightning within, 5 miles?
Yeah. And not only that, if it starts raining, they shut down attractions in Florida because you could get hurt. I know.
Journey of Water, same thing. Slinky Dog Dash, same thing. Kali River Rapids, same thing. Test Track, same. These are outdoor attractions that they have to shut down if there's lightning within 5 miles. And the article, again, let's go to the top of this is what's driving me crazy, because these are now flooding Google News, and it's crazy. Walt Disney World hit by power outage. Multiple locations shut down. The only reason there's multiple locations shut down is because they did what they always do. They shut down attractions as there was a little storm coming through. Anyway, what about this one? Jess Colopy, again out of Disney Dining. Emergency responders flood Disney Springs following multiple incidents on Sunday. Sunday was an unusual morning at Walt Disney World Resort's shopping and entertainment district, where the first responders called to Disney Springs twice before lunchtime. The first call came in the day. Oh, this is the same thing, isn't it, folks? This is the same story that they got over on Inside the Magic. 4:18 a.m. Again, these are not real. This is probably a single building where they were testing a fire alarm or something. Like there's nothing. No damage, no fire, no nothing. Disney didn't comment. No impact to guest experience. But Disney Dining will report any further developments as they become available. Give me a break, folks. This is the headline that Google News is allowing to be on Google News. As a certified news website, emergency responders flood Disney Springs. Guys, girls, this is what we got to call out now, because it's getting too much. They were doing this a couple months ago, where if somebody passed away at Disney from a heart attack, they were reporting on it as if Disney was a dangerous place. There's a difference in what we do and these people do. Mm-hmm. We try to call out legitimate concerns and things that are going on at Disney, and there has become an economy of people posting these. And if it's on Facebook, I get what happens on Facebook. If it happens on TikTok, I get what happens on TikTok. But these are Google News certified websites. These are places that AI is going to find out what's happening, what's real. Mm-hmm. And this is confusing the heck out of people and officials and AI. And it's time for it to go away. That's enough of this nonsense. Culture, there's got to be an end to the clickbaiting. Like, surely there has to be an end to it.
I think the audience is going to get frustrated by it. But look, I mean, I just call it bait and move on. Occasionally I've been accused of using quote unquote clickbait or rage bait titles, or statements. And it's fine.
You would never, Culture.
Well,
you would
no,
never.
But a little bit of hyperbole isn't necessarily out of place in the field that we're in. I'm always very grateful when people are a little more realistic and honest about what it is that they're covering. And
okay, what about this though, Culture? Emergency responders flood Disney Springs following multiple incidents on Sunday. There's nothing that we know of. There's zero proof we have that emergency responders even went to Disney Springs. What do you make of it?
Somebody needs money.
Okay.
Look, I'm not going to apologize for them, but the way you get clicks, and look, we're talking about a dying industry. Okay, journalism is dying, especially print journalism. Just had a massive, sell off or going out of business in the Caribbean.
Well, I would argue the woke side of this is going down.
Sure, yeah. But I mean, I'm not going to pretend that everything's in great shape, because it's not. What I will say is that we're in a better position for being informed right now than we've been in a long time, and I think that kind of plays into this as well. The news media outlets are are vying for position in an ever limiting and shrinking market. And so we're watching digital outlets. I did a video on this morning on BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed's toast. I mean, that thing, they were on the verge of bankruptcy, just under enormous piles of debt. This has been happening to any of the entities that have been acquiring these digital publishers. Digital publishing is a tough business and competition. You have to be niche based, and you have to be, centered on your niche. It's one of the reasons why I love that Park Place, because it's centered on the entertainment and in theme park niche. It knows what to talk about, knows what to write about. It's why I commend everybody over there that's working on that every day. So we're in a different space now, which is also why there's a lot of adjustments being made digitally, not just in the printed media, the digital printed media, but also in the stuff we do as well. Like I said, it's an ever changing business, but in order to get any kind of attention and clicks, which you get paid on clicks, and that's another problem with digital publishing, you're going to make some of the most outrageous, hyperbolic claims as you possibly can to get attention. The last part of this, I'll say, we live in an attention economy, whether or not we want to admit it or not.
I agree with culture.
Now, there are sites out there that what they do, though, is parody, right? And Ron, you've shared this one with me. Mousetrap News, I think, is a parody website.
Yeah,
it does trick some people, but it's an example of.
I was going to make a point with that the problem with the headlines that we were showing is that then people go to this and they believe it's real.
I see. Yes.
Yeah. So you have people. Okay. Oh my gosh. There's fires all over Disney World. There's emergency responders coming. There's people having heart attacks left and right, and this and that and the other one. And they see that, and that's all clickbait. And if you actually read down to the article, you realize it's nothing. And then people will go to this and believe it's real.
Right, because the parody matches up with what's Google News certified. I see what you're saying. Well, that's a great point, Ron. But they're funny. You got to give them credit. Mousetrap, which is not doing the same thing as Inside the Magic and Disney Dining. I mean, look at that down there. Breaking Magic Kingdom testing child-free days. I mean, that's pretty funny, right?
And what's funny about that is the Disney adults that really want that kind of stuff, or somebody really wanting a Disney park in Ohio or whatever, they'll clamor onto that. And because the other sites like Inside the Magic have given them information that they believe is real, they'll think this is real too. And it's creating confusion. And when you're talking about the thousands upon tens of thousands of dollars that people are going to pay for a Disney vacation, the last thing you would want anybody going to Disney or any of these parks, Universal, whatever, the last thing you'd want is misinformation that could cost them money. And I'm always a person who is like, I've always said I'm a guest advocate. Even when I was a cast member, I felt like I advocated for the guest. I want a guest of Disney World or Universal or anybody that's on vacation to get the most bang for their buck, to create memorable, wonderful experiences, and to not have any of their money taken from them. And, somebody going to a place or staying away from a place based on false information, somebody paying for something or not paying for something based on false information, it's a dangerous game. And that's why it's one of the reasons I found you, Pro. It's one of the reasons I love Valiant. The information you guys give is always legit. And
legit.
It's huge deal for me.
What's been fun about that too is MJ. People have they've just gotten accustomed to it now. So when we get something right that's huge, nobody even gives us credit anymore. Like it's a thing. So when we solidly and consistently said Paramount's going to get Warner Brothers. Nope. Netflix is not going to get it. Paramount's going to get it. And like 99% of the media turned against us. And we were just sitting here saying, nope. Nobody even, when it was done, everybody was like, oh yeah, we knew it the whole time, Pro. It's all good. You did too. Like wait a minute. We were facing a torrent of people saying, no, you're wrong. You guys blew it. Anyway, MJ, the problem is that the average person now, when they search for Disney World, they're getting all this stuff and they don't know what's real and not real. And it's also tricking AI too. And so if you ask AI, were there really two fires and rescue teams going to Disney Springs? AI will go find, oh, that's Google News certified. So yes, that is true. This website are reporting it. So it's a huge problem, MJ.
That is a huge problem. You made such a good point. I'm like, how many people go to Grok and ask Grok and Grok will give them a link? Yeah, that's so scary and unfortunate. And AI, from what you guys were saying, AI is really taking over even on YouTube. Like, what about the original content creators, that are really working hard, giving it all they have and not relying too much. We are in an AI driven world and we have to keep up with the times, let's face it. But for those that are really talented and have their skills and want to give to the community and contribute, they really can't because of all the competition. But the clickbait is awful. I just have a really good discernment on telling what's real and what's not real. But there's some people that cannot tell the difference and they really get led down the wrong rabbit hole. It's a shame.
The good news of the AIs when it comes to Grok is using something called Grokopedia to rank order the sites and the places that are reputable. And it seems like right now that Park Place and geeksandgamers.com both are seen as extremely authoritative, whereas some of these other websites maybe not. And that, folks, is well earned and hard earned because we've been day after day consistently, Marvin and Jonas and the rest of the gang, working hard to make sure that the stories and the scoops that we bring to you are accurate and true. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, we did hit the goal today. We'll be playing a Clipathon at the end and having a good time. Happy to have so many friends out there giving generously and keeping those radioactive hamsters spinning the wheels. England DG for 5, 15-year career making pizza. We would show up at 6 a.m. after milking the cows to make I'm kidding, to make fresh dough daily. The corporation switched to frozen buns from Cisco. They would not proof. Nasty taste.
Yeah. Can never compare fresh to frozen, ever.
Culture, you want to talk about
he doesn't want to go into it.
You guys, I could do 20 minutes on this right now, but yeah, there's a reason they don't use fresh or often non fabricated ingredients. You're seeing more fillers and things. If you get loaf of bread, even things that are supposed to be claimed that are good, you can put them underneath a faucet and expose the fact that real bread would be a sponge and slowly fall apart under a stream of water. This bread is more like it repels the water.
Culture, what's with ice cream not melting anymore? Have you noticed that? Ice cream doesn't melt.
It's full of emulsifiers and other things that are there to preserve it and bulk it up. So ice cream's not ice cream anymore. All this stuff we're going to talk about on that garden place.
Yay.
And when that's regularly in action, I'll be having guests on like MJ and other people who are food enthusiastic, and we can talk about what's really going on. And
you know what you should do, Culture, for your top level members of that game place?
Yeah, what?
You should ship them some of the food that you grow.
Oh no, absolutely. I think it would be interesting. I think survivability of some of the stuff that I grow would be a little sad because I think because it is so fresh. I harvest it and use it. That's what happens. So like when I harvest any of the peppers, they go right into a salsa. When I harvest the tomatoes, they are used either in salads or obviously salsa or in sauces. I mean, these are things. I have so much fruiting right now that I have to give it away. The only thing that's not fruiting just yet, it's not quite warm enough, is the Amish tomatoes. Those the paste tomatoes. Yeah, Amish paste tomatoes make some of the best sauce potatoes because they're so meaty. They don't have a lot of moisture inside them compared to other things like Big Reds or some of the larger tomatoes like beefsteak and such. So
there you go. Yeah. England DG, you got your money's worth.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Chef Eddie, it's like when Culture talks about postmodern neo-purple potatoes.
It's true.
All right, first Dragon Queen for 5. Here's one more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go assemble my special guest. That is exactly how it sounds. Constructing. You're constructive conversationalist.
Very constructive.
Wild Man of Yavin for another 5. Obligation.
I think it's so funny. He does it on other channels too. I think it's hilarious.
10 from Snarky Culture. You talk like an outsider. You are here all the time and are featured in Honorable and Funnies all the time. You are pro family. As we tell him, he is familia pro through and through.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Look, I always consider it to be an honor to be here as a guest. I consider it an honor to be asked on anybody's podcast and appear regularly. And you know, we're likely going to see some shakeup in time slots and things like that going forward. So, you know, I just appreciate the fact that I get these opportunities because again, you guys have so much to offer and so much knowledge. I think,
God is not through with you yet, Culture. You're still here, and the Bible talks about humility, and you got it, my friend. You got that.
Until the EMTs show up, folks. Too, Culture is talking about time change and all that kind of stuff. You may have noticed that you have this certain time you expect the pro videos to come out. We've been doing some testing. We're going to continue to do testing, and we're talking with YouTube, trying to figure out what's going down. But things have changed on YouTube, and basically channels are only getting a certain amount of content that YouTube will support every day, and so that means we're having to make some changes. But we'll continue to put out the same kind of stories and same amount of content. Just might have a different strategy, and we'll have announcements coming out probably in April about that. But continuing to do some testing right now, and we'll let you know. Stormweaver is out there dropping 50. Hi, Pro, MJ, Culture, and Ron. Wishing you and yours all the best. Thanks for all the great work you produce for us to watch and listen to.
Pleasure.
Stormweaver, we appreciate you. That is just so kind.
We're
so
just here
kind.
being ourselves, and that's the beautiful part of it.
Absolutely. Culture, do you want to tell what's coming out on your channel for those who might be interested in beyond the seeds of what you do?
Oh, sure. Yeah. The obviously the Culture Casino channel is the main channel, but we're adding that garden place that's coming soon. All of the art is now officially finished, so I'm very excited about that. I have an official sign right here, courtesy of First Dragon Queen 4 that's hanging up that's going to hang up in the greenhouse. And of course the green screen messed with the greenery there, but and then I'm very much looking forward to that. But mostly you can find my comments on things like I talked about the BuzzFeed article I covered this morning, and any other thing that are going on in pop culture. So that's all.
And Ron, tell us about the hard work that you're doing, because Stormweaver is thanking for all this hard work. Tell about the hard work you're doing on your channel.
Yeah, so we have the dish, which we've actually added an episode weekly to the dish. So we have 2 p.m. right after that Park Place. We have a 2 p.m. show today, a 3 p.m. show tomorrow after WDW Pro, the Pro show, and a 7:30 p.m. show on Wednesday evenings leading into the Pro show. And then my wife and I are doing a special every Sunday at 5 o'clock where it's just the two of us, bantering back and forth and talking about the different kind of foods we like and comparing and seeing, what comes out of it. We talked a little bit about the Oscars yesterday and, the changes that have happened and how it used to be such a big event. It was, by the way, the Oscars used to be a huge event in Venezuela when she was growing up. So in the 1980s and 1990s, even back then. So it's crazy. Of course, on our show is, Spanglish. My wife speaks Spanish. She's from Venezuela, so we do the show both in Spanish and English.
That's
very, very cool.
Beautiful.
And MJ, your hard work can be found on X and on Instagram.
I honestly don't think that I can even give myself that kind of credit because I just have an Instagram and an X. For those to connect with me, I'm trying to post the latest updates on everything that you guys need to have a really cool park day. But I really enjoy contributing my time and energy to all these amazing people, not just the guys that you see here on the panel, on the other channels. And I love sitting back and watching my friends soar because I've made friends on here. And there's people that are not even on a panel that are just working so hard behind the scenes. And we're all uplifting each other and sticking together through thick and thin. And I think it's a beautiful community to be a part of. And it's really God's work. And the dark forces try to interfere, and we're not going to let them do that. I do appreciate every invite I get to be on a panel anywhere. And, even if I'm not sitting in the stage and I'm behind the scenes, it's a pleasure and an honor, truly.
All right, Stormweaver, this is for you. But it is Stormweaver. No, it can't be, but it is Stormweaver.
Ron, can you do that again?
What do you do?
Look at
Oh,
that.
you didn't know?
That's why
Oh,
the
no.
shirt. That's why you had to change shirts.
That's Gaston. All right. And we've got Walter Tomazuski out there from 199. Power to the Niners. Is someone writing these stories to data poison AI? Not for theme parks, but yes, in other genres, you bet. Well, men, if you haven't for 5, let's get dangerous. I am not great at doing those voices by the, what's his name? Who's the Winnie the Pooh guy? Jim Cummings. I'm not great at doing the Jim Cummings voices, but yep. Darkwing Duck is making a return on the comeback. All right.
I heard about that.
Folks, we got 2 stories to end this thing on, and then we'll play your Clipathon. Want to say a big thank you to everybody out there, though, again. What a great day, and what a way to start a Monday with all of you. It's just so great to be gathered together with this kind of a crowd.
Straight from the heart of the park.
The Walt Disney World Resort is getting ready to rush open Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and other attractions, probably because the stock is down. How much is it down? Well, remember, folks, we're down here. Down 48% over the past 5 years. And so we got to get a summer going for Disney. And right now, those reservations, especially given international travel woes, going into places they don't want to be. That Park Place by Cham Lee, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad reopening scheduled at Magic Kingdom. And this is way sooner than we were anticipating. The question is it too soon? Let's talk about it. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom is scheduled for a grand reopening in early May 2026. By the way, since this article came out, some are speculating it could happen in April. After closing in early January of 2025 for an extensive refurbishment project. The resort has not released a specific reopening date beyond the general early May timeframe. In a press release from March 12th, Disney announced the attraction will reopen with new magic and the shine and polish of an all-over refurbishment in early May. All right, during the closure, construction crews have observed throughout the Frontierland area working on sections of the track. Entrance and exit queues and surrounding infrastructure, at least some of the existing exit queue structures have been removed. Crews have been repairing concrete work near the coaster's perimeter. They've also repainted it. I don't like the way they repainted it, but they're trying to match it in with all this other stuff they're doing with New Fantasyland, New Frontierland this time. Big Thunder's been there since 1979, and it's a wonderful attraction. I do hope the lift hill has been quieted down, but the question is, folks, they're rushing this way sooner than we expected. What are they going to do? Because this is what the construction looks like around Big Thunder right now, and we don't know exactly how you're going to exit out of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I know they've got a plan, but right now, the place that you used to exit goes into a construction zone. So, Culture, I'm going to hand this over to you. We're looking right now at BioReconstruct's image of this. You can see over here the exit for Big Thunder, and you can see that it used to look over Rivers of America, and there was water here. The water's gone. I mean, are they just going to put up giant construction walls all the way around Big Thunder to hide so that you can't see in? I mean, if they do that, it's going to be massive. And if they don't do that, then I don't know. I mean, I guess it's going to be a very unimmersive experience on Big Thunder. What's going on here, Culture? How are they doing this quickly?
I have no answer. I mean, there's an emergency exit they could send everyone from.
That's what I wondered.
Yeah, and it will change. It would change the load and unload cycles appreciably. which would if they elect to do that, it would interfere with not just the ride operation, but with capacity. This could be a real problem. Not to mention the fact that if they were to go about exiting people through the traditional exit, they're going to have to build either a tunnel or maybe temporary rock structure, like you're exiting a mining complex or something, in order for that to facilitate that.
They better do that fast, because they haven't done that, and they got about a month.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm not 100% certain they accomplished all their goals on this attraction before it's scheduled now to be hurried along and opened. I'm kind of worried. They already had some maintenance conversations on this attraction, so I'm getting concerned, bro. Getting concerned.
Safety wise, I don't really have a concern here. Maybe I could be wrong, but what I am thinking is, what a strange thing to open a roller coaster in the middle of a construction zone, and it's literally in the middle of a construction zone. It's not like Tiana's, which is over there to the side. This will be in the very center of the construction zone. MJ, that's going to make for a very different ride experience. But they're trying their best to get everything open for the summer. They're trying to get this stock back out of the drop that it's in. Is this the right move, MJ? I want Big Thunder open, but I don't know how this is going to go thus far.
Yeah, so nothing is good rushed, right? And they're rushing it. It's going to coincide with a Cool Kids Summer, which I forgot the height requirement for this one. Is it 42 inches? Because
I think it's 42. I don't think it's 48.
Okay, so it's 42 inches, so most kiddos can ride it. I'm wondering about the entrance with the whole lightning lane, and then you have your standby, and then do they have a single rider? I don't know how they're gonna get people in and out of this thing. They're rushing it, and it's definitely gonna be for the Cool Kids Summer that they're pushing that like crazy on parents. They even have like after hours at Typhoon Lagoon. I saw that the other day. They're doing all kinds of stuff this summer. They really want to bring back families with the kids that they know the kids are out of school. They're trying in every way possible to make it more and more enticing with the summer deals. And I wonder about the other attraction over at Hollywood Studios, which most kids can't ride that one. I think I chit-chatted with you about that, over the weekend, and that's the only way you're going to experience the Muppets. I don't know how people are going to do that with their kids. You're going to go through the line queue, you're going to do the intro, and that's about it, because some kids can't get on that one. But it is being rushed, and nothing is good rushed, and it's going to be kind of scary. I hope it works out. I hope there's not too many kinks. Who doesn't love Big Thunder Mountain Railroad? I mean, it's a really cool attraction. I can't remember the year it opened, but I know it's one of those like the Haunted Mansion. You have the Jungle Cruise. These are attractions that are not around and wrapped around an IP, and we adore them, and they're dear to our hearts. So I just hope that they do the right thing and give it all the knickknacks it needs before they just it's open.
Yeah, well, they've replaced the whole track. I hope that the lift hill is quiet now. It's deafening. It has been forever, and I also hope that they've got all the effects working again. And but Ron, this is the view from where Big Thunder is. Yeah. This is what people are going to see. You can see all the way to Haunted Mansion now, no problem. You realize that it's not far away anymore, like it seemed to be back when there was an island and a river between you. But this is what you'll see, and this is just the beginning of what you'll see. Yeah. This is looking over the wall. So it's going to be a strange experience having Big Thunder open and it being in the middle of all the work. Villains Land on one side of it, cars on the other, and looking straight across to Haunted Mansion with trees cleared. Very strange.
It's pretty weird. We were there the other day. That's the exact view that I saw. As you come up around Tiana's Bayou Adventure, as you're getting over towards Big Thunder, that's the view that you see. And the hill there right in front of Tiana's Bayou Adventure is high enough that the hill itself is a little bit higher than the construction walls down below. So you're seeing right over the top of it into none of the construction work is blocked. You see all the workers, the porta potties you saw back there, the backside of the construction walls that back up to the queue for the Haunted Mansion. And it is really, it looks like a disaster. There's something, I will note this. I don't know what they're doing with the queue exactly, but something right in front of Big Thunder on the ground was in fact being changed, being repainted, being restructured. I don't know exactly what it was, but yeah, we were just there last week, and it's right now it looks a mess. I'll be honest with you. If I were to tell people, if you were planning a Disney World vacation this year that was exclusively Disney World, this is the year to skip it. If you want to come to Orlando, maybe do a day at Disney World when Soaring Over America is open. This is the only thing I'm looking forward to. Outside of that, it's just skip Disney World right now. There's so much under construction. Just wait a few years until it's done. They're really trying, obviously, with things like the bringing in the Bluey meet and greet, reopening Thunder Mountain when they're reopening, which I thought they weren't going to do until August because of certain permits that we've seen. I don't know how they're going to do it. As far as what I can tell, it does look like they'll do the construction wall thing and just put more construction walls up.
Man, do you know how tall?
You'll just walk past all of those.
Do you know how tall those construction walls are? But here's what I've never seen Disney do before. This is why Big Thunder is such a unique case. I've never seen an attraction that is surrounded in almost every direction by construction. And it's hard to see in this picture, but you can see the cars area. Okay, that's the front part of Big Thunder. But what you can't see is all that area between it and Haunted Mansion has been cleared, and they're working there. And that is the side that used to be with the rivers. But then the back side of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is now opened up, fully opened up to where Villains Land is supposed to be. And on the west side of Big Thunder, all that land has been cleared for future cast parking and maybe one day a hotel. So you really can't see it, but the only area that's not surrounded by construction is where you walk from Tiana's to Big Thunder, and that's it. Every other part of the attraction, I've never seen an attraction at Disney, any of their theme parks, be surrounded this way in a sea of construction. So it's going to be an odd experience if you go ride it. I just don't know, how fun that's going to be like, honey, let's go ride it and see all the cranes, and then let's go see the excavators. I just don't know.
Most folks don't even know about this construction, to be honest with you, and that the way the commercials, the way that they're pushing to come visit the property, it's really enticing. People are not most, there's a big majority of people that are off for the summer. Kids are home. They want to do something fun. They want to cool down. So going to your point, Ron, people like you and I that have small kids that are out of school for the summer, with all the competition Universal Studios has with Volcano Bay Nights coming back and making a huge return. It's on my Instagram. You can check that out. But with Typhoon Lagoon, with their Fun Nights event, and then Volcano Bay at Universal, what would you recommend to families what to do with their kids this summer if it's not going to the Walt Disney World Resort? I'm curious.
Well, just before you answer, Ron, First Dragon Queen says for 2, it's not opening until that parking lot is done.
I love that.
That's what the whole expansion was about, baby. Got to get those parking lots. Ron, your thoughts?
What would I recommend?
Yeah.
Go to the national parks. go to Mount
go to.
Rushmore.
You want people to go to Epic. You want people to go to Epic.
Hey, Epic Universe is fantastic. They've still got. I mean, look, but they're already sold out for a lot of days, bro. I mean, you can't even do it. You can't even go.
You don't want to set people up like that either, Ron, because there's no covering. It's open. So when there's a bad thunderstorm, you don't have anywhere to hide. If it's too hot, you don't have anywhere to hide.
I wonder how the trees have grown since I was there last year, because it has been a year since I went to Epic almost, and I'm curious about the growth. But yeah, it's what would I recommend? I don't know. Visit Six Flags. The last year it's going to be Six Flags.
Let's talk about Discovery Cove. You could cool down there and have a nice day.
Discovery Cove is nice.
We got to give some other parks credit. You can have a nice day. It's an all-inclusive day to your ticket. You get your food, you get your beverages, and you get a great time with the family. It's a nice day for that. I don't know what else to say other than just try to talk to your travel agent about where's the best place to visit with small kids if it's not Walt Disney World, if you feel like they should be skipping out on that. But there's a lot of competition right now with these parks, with their water parks being open late during the summer, offering events and activities and meet and greets with characters and all that. It's just a lot of competition. And you get a free water park perk if you stay in the bubble, right? You get a free admission for the whole party. That's a lot of money saved. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Well, folks, there it is. There's a video of what you'll see if you are riding Big Thunder or Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That is
that's crazy.
That's the look that you'll have as you're riding. And remember, if you're on Big Thunder, this will be all around you in every possible direction. And I don't think we've ever, not since the late 70s, early 80s, have we ever been able to see the Haunted Mansion stage building. But it's in full visibility now. There's Big Thunder. You're going to be in a full, total construction zone if you ride it when it reopens in a month. That's going to be a heck of a thing. So there you go, folks. That's what we're up to. That's what we're watching, and we'll keep an eye on it. Should they even open the thing yet? I feel conflicted. Because I want a good ride. I love Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, nostalgia, all that. Yeah. But I don't want to ride it if it's in the condition it might be in. Everybody's always talking about where should you go if not Disney, and Dollywood seems to be one of those places you might consider. Dolly Parton sharing a health update at the park. She showed up at Dollywood the other day, and it was very good the way she showed up because, hip hip hooray, Dolly is doing much better. Out of People magazine, Dolly Parton shares health update in first major appearance in months since revealing medical concerns. Parton delivered the keynote address at her theme park Dollywood on its 41st anniversary. And look at Dolly go there in her carriage going through Dollywood. And Dollywood, of course, has become a very significant player in the theme park industry, winning award after award after award, and really beginning to push Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, those places in East Tennessee, as an alternative to Orlando. Dolly Parton shared that she is taking good care of herself in the wake of health concerns following the death of her husband, Carl Thomas Dean. Parton, 80, opened up about her health and her grief journey during a keynote speech on opening day at her theme park, Dollywood, Friday, March 13th. This year's theme park season marks the 41st since the Tennessee theme park opened. She says, "I've not been touring, as you know. I've had a few little health issues, and we're taking good care of them." She says, "I just kind of got worn down and worn out grieving over Carl, her husband, and a lot of other little things going on." She says, "I just got myself kind of where I needed to build myself back up spiritually, emotionally, and physically, but all is good. It didn't slow me down." After joking that fans shouldn't confuse Dollywood Company President Eugene Naughton, who she shared the stage with, to be her new husband, she confirmed that she is not dating anybody. She says, "I think Carl Dean's waiting for me. If I should show up at the pearly gates with somebody else who would not like that, he'd be saying, 'Who is that little,' folks will just say it, 'Who's that little pisser? You leave him outside the gates.'" Dolly's so funny. Parton previously shared a video apologizing for missing the Hall of Fame ceremony for the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions for Dollywood in November of 2025 amid her health concerns. So yes, Dollywood was admitted into the Hall of Fame for theme parks. Dolly also credited prayer and God for how well Dollywood is doing, and they've got a new attraction opening this year that is a dark coaster water hybrid. I don't think we've ever seen anything like it before, but based around the idea of fireflies. Super, super cool ride, folks. Go check out Dollywood. But congratulations to Dolly on getting better, and I know this has been a very hard year for her, but lots of joy. She's kind of become the new Walt Disney in terms of just how much Dollywood is growing. Ron, I know you stopped at Dollywood last year, I believe, or the year before. It was last year, right?
Yeah.
And
Ron,
your thoughts on Dollywood and Dolly Parton and where this theme park might go in the next years as it becomes a place that sort of starts taking on Disney and Universal?
Well, I mean, Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, some of the best themed parks, both entities, partially owned at least by the Herschend family. Dolly is in a partnership with the Herschend family. I know some of the Herschends from having worked at Silver Dollar City back in the day, and they're good people. It's amazing what they've done, honestly, with so little. They started out by leasing a cave space and have built this amazing theme park empire off of that, from I think it was 1949 when they first leased Marvel Cave, and now it's just this huge thing for Silver Dollar City, for Dollywood, and what's great about it is the location. I mean, gosh, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, gorgeous area, so worth visiting. You don't have to necessarily get yourself to a coast to have just as good of a time, if not better. By the way, they don't have that cinnamon bread anywhere at Walt Disney World. If you put cinnamon bread up against blue milk, cinnamon bread going to win every time.
Dollywood needs to find their butterbeer, but you're exactly right, Ron. And the joke has been, that Floridians head for the mountains and the people, in the heartland head for the beaches. So both sides switch sides when it comes time for vacation time. MJ, very good to hear that Dolly is doing better. And I know there'd been real fear about her health concerns. She is 80 years old. But MJ, making all of this great stuff and keeping people happy seems to be keeping her young at heart. She's doing a fantastic job. And your thoughts, MJ, on what's coming our way with Dollywood? This new attraction is a hybrid coaster water ride indoor. It's crazy. It's huge. MJ, what do you think about the idea that some of these smaller parks, and Dollywood may not even be considered a smaller park anymore, but your thought on these places being an alternative now to Disney and Universal that's worthwhile to families?
Yeah, kudos to Dollywood, man. I mean, God bless her, 80 years old. I mean, she's got so much enthusiasm, and she looks like such a happy person, and that can keep you alone alive. They always said it's the mind, right? Mind over body. But I am happy to see this park flourish and continue to do well. I saw a lot of POVs of the resort. They have some of the best fried chicken. I would love to go with my family. Actually, one of my older daughters is planning a road trip with a lot of friends, and they're heading up that way. So I cannot wait to hear all about their adventure. But you are absolutely right. The Floridians are looking for the mountains and everyone else is looking for the beaches. But this park seems to be doing really well. Ron, like you were saying about Six Flags, given everything that's going on, I don't know about the status of Cedar Point and Six Flags because I'm not really too familiar with that, with those companies. But this is optimistic to look at, and it, quite frankly, it appeals to all families, all groups of friends, all ages. It looks really interesting, and I'm not familiar with the kiddie rides. I just hope they have enough to, for the little ones, because it looks like a lot of thrill rides, but I've never been there, and I do look forward to going there one day. And it's look at that. I mean, who wouldn't want to look at that's gorgeous? You could sit down and have a nice meal and look at that beautiful view. Absolutely.
What's crazy, MJ, is they've got like 60 attractions at Dollywood and tons of rides for the little ones. And the strategy of places like Disney World, I think, is what has opened the door to Dollywood to explode, because Disney has less than 60 attractions in all of their parks at Disney World combined and put together. And Disneyland, of course, built for a different time. But Dollywood, 60 attractions, you could spend 2 or 3 days in Dollywood. Meanwhile, some of the Disney World parks culture are half-day experiences now.
Well, I don't even know if they're that long. Hey, look, if you rope drop, you have your own vehicle, you rope drop, you get to the park early, you're standing at the front, you can knock out Pandora in about half an hour or so. And then you can make your way to the safari ride, which is the second most visited attraction, and you can make your way through that very rapidly. And then by the time, let's say you land at the time of year when the stupid water ride is open there, you can do that. And
tell us how you really feel, culture.
Oh, I don't think I'm sugarcoating anything. And then you can do Everest immediately following that, because if you do single rider line, you can get your whole family to do single rider line. It works out pretty well.
You know what I'm really wondering about? Are they doing anything for America's birthday celebration? Because Dollywood would seem to be the place to go to. It screams America.
I think it's going. I think it's going to win. I think you're right there. But no, look. I mean, the Studios Park is falling apart. There's very little to do there. The Star Wars attractions, oftentimes one or both of them have downtime throughout the day. The basically the most reliable thing of any of the simulator styles is going to be the one that is Star Tours, believe it or not. But it also has 6 bays, so that's faster than it is at the Disneyland Resort. You've got. I mean, we can go through this and just say that, they have two parks that are not even half days. Like, I literally, back when it was old school park hopping, I could do 3 or possibly all 4 theme parks, not in their entirety, but just the experiences I enjoy once I had my own car, it was pretty straightforward. So, like I said, it's a real shame. And here's the thing: you compare Florida to California. California had 63 to 65 attractions just in Disneyland itself as part of Disneyland Resort, and rope dropping there, you could do a lot of stuff in one day. So I always recommend rope dropping. I'd rather get up early than stay up late, and unless it's an overnight. That's what I would do. But
you know the other thing though.
Yeah.
So Disney became very political over the last decade. Dolly Parton, I don't know her political views. I legitimately, I have no idea what her political views are. I could make a guess, but I might be wrong. She has stayed out of politics. She has stayed universally appealing to as many as she can. The left and the right love her because neither side knows which side she agrees with. And she will purposefully say, I don't do politics, I entertain. And I think that's paid off in spades for her. Right? That's the ace.
Good for her.
And for Dollywood specifically. And look, I mean, I'm with MJ. I mean, I think everybody can take a guess at what her politics are. She's very God-fearing. But, at the same time, she doesn't make a fuss about it. And unlike Hollywood, and by the way, she was a part of Hollywood, not just music, but obviously Hollywood.
She's a leader and a role model.
Yeah, and truly,
opinion.
yeah, at every level. So I look at her and with a great deal of admiration. But she knew what to do when other people were doing the wrong thing. She continued to do the right thing. So good for her.
Go, Dolly, go.
Yay.
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Was that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, Snarky. Another 5 in.
Hey, Pro, we might make clickbait headlines because we're thunderclapping over here. Ron's thunderclapping. I'm thunderclapping. We might disappear and reappear. It could be clickbait, though. I don't know. I mean, the weather.
They're gone. The storms took out Ron and MJ. They're gone. They're gone forever. Oh, wait, they'll be back next week. Big storms rolling through Florida and blizzard conditions moving across other parts of the United States. It's a crazy day for many places that were spring yesterday and winter today. Just Jay is out there. Oh, the favorite letter of the day is J. I don't have that clip pulled up right now, but Jay, thank you so much. Jay says for 10, my mom heard sometime recently that Dollywood wasn't doing well and was considering shutting down for some seasons. Do you have any idea where the corporate news got that? I'm sure it's like Inside the Magic again. I mean, it's one of those websites. No, Dollywood is doing, gangbusters. We've been there. We go to a bunch of theme parks, and Ron, me and you got to get over to Silver Dollar City because I've never been, and you know it, and you've worked there. We got to go. Maybe this year we'll make it happen. But we go to the major theme parks. We go to Universal. We go to Disney. We go to Dollywood. We go to Busch Gardens. We go to SeaWorld. Folks, we want to be experts in all this. Mm-hmm. Dollywood, it is, even on off days, it's difficult to get parking. It is so popular. I mean, it is just rocking. So no, I have no worries about Dollywood out of anything. All right, folks, we're going to be sending you over to Ron in just a minute. Ron's got to drop so he can get the dish ready to go. Ron, thank you, buddy. We'll send the people to you in just a few.
All right, I'm going to try to avoid this hail.
Folks, he said hail. He's not trying to avoid hell, okay? Ron, and he's gone. Nope, it got him. It got him. We've got England DG out there. Says for 5, love Dolly. I have chased after rainbows. I've captured 1 or 2. I've reached for the stars, and I've even held a few. You'll make it if you try. Lyrics from Dolly. Well said.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, from Snarky to Stink Nugget for 2, peace and love to my favorite crew and the chat too. Snarky, you are debonair around here. All right, folks, we got a super chat goal and we hit it. So let's win it with a Clipathon right now. Get over there and subscribe to Culture Casino and MJ. And on the Pro channel, be watching out for videos because you never know when they'll arrive. We're trying out new things because YouTube changed the algorithm. The age of AI is here, and they're flooded with all kinds of stuff, and we're finding a way to succeed even in the midst of it all, just as we always do, bringing you the ability to stay ahead of the culture curve and understand entertainment. Folks, Clipathon, starting now.
It's 2035, and it's time for the grand opening of a long-awaited Villains expansion.
Here we are in the first attraction, a grown-ups only establishment where you can get sloshed with Ursula. And guess what? Here we are again, back at another bar. Have you ever wanted to booze it up with little green men?
Excuse me, are there any rides here, or is this all just bars?
Oh, there's tons more here beyond alcohol.
Y'all know about the bird call last month east of the ridge? They set their traps on top of an old burial mound. The elders used to warn about it. They call it Peck-a-Prick Ridge.
They're right behind us! Move! Dispatch, this is the visitor center. The birds are loose, big, angry, and glowing. What do you mean glowing? Like demonic Christmas lights.
Hold steady. Gotcha.
This won't go well.
When the hate and the shifts stole your thrills, then took away your fun. Heroes gone, the story's rough, and movies turn to mud. But don't give up the battle, 'cause there's a man right by your side. He's winning versus wokies every day. Marvin Montanaro.